evening and welcome back to my courtroom. If you're new here, I'm Gaston the Ginger, YouTube's favorite and most fair judge. What we do here is judge crazy people and hand out appropriate sentences. In today's docket, we're covering TikTok moms, doctors arguing for child mutilation, a woman being arrested for defending herself against BLM and Antifa thugs, and much, much more. Are you ready to hand out some sentences? Because I know I am. Ladies and gentlemen, things may get crazy, but no matter what, as you know, there shall always be order in my court. Our first two offenders come courtesy of TikTok, specifically TikTok moms, TikTok motherhood. The first case is a woman, a mother, who blames her newborn child for being a racist. Why? Because he's white, so he's inherently racist. Check it out.
My name is Sarah. This little cutie is my son Bennett. As you can see, my son is a white male, so here are some books that I bought to help prevent him from growing up to be awful. Starting out strong, we have C is for consent. Pretty self-explanatory, but it's a picture book that goes into detail about consent with your body, with family. Along that same note, we have Will Ladybug Hug. Teaches the same kind of concept and in a more childish way about a ladybug who is hugging his friends. He even has one friend who doesn't like hugging. So this one is called Only for Me. Also, same concept, teaching kids about consent and things that feel comfortable with their body. Because I'm raising a feminist, we've got A is for Awesome, 23 inspirational women. Next, we have I Clean Like Daddy. There's even a page in the end where the whole family is cleaning together to show that it's not just mom and sister's job. Finally, we have Except When They Don't, a book about boys and girls liking whatever they want, regardless of their gender.
Some of you may be thinking, hey, what's wrong with those books? Those actually sounded pretty good. And with that, maybe I agree. Maybe not. Maybe yes. Does it matter? No. What matters here is that she's teaching him these things because she's blaming him, accusing him of already being a racist. The kid can't even speak. But he's a racist because he's white. And that's racist. She's judging him based on his skin. After seeing that TikTok, this next one is a little less upsetting. Check it out.
Oh my god, guys. I'm freaking out. What am I gonna do? Just kidding, I already scheduled the appointment. I am what conservatives fear!
Let's be real, what she did here, if true, is awful. At the same time, that mother should not be a mother. She is clearly not cut out for it. And any child she ends up raising will be inevitably fucked up. Now, the sentence for the first mother, we're going to remove the child from the home until she completes common sense training and realizes that blaming people for the color of their skin is itself a racist statement. Case closed. The second mother, we're going to go ahead and send her to prison for 15 years, if what she did was true, and that way when she gets out, she can't get pregnant anymore and she can't have A's, can't say that word anymore, for no particular reason. Case closed. Next is the case of the mutilating doctor. A leaked audio, I'll just read you the statement, not the audio, of a woman doctor arguing for kids, women, girls, to have their breast amputated. And this is nuts to me because doctors took the Hippocratic Oath. They will do no harm to their patients and they will perform to the best of their abilities. And this, it's harmful. It's nothing else but harmful. Let me read you this sickening statement. I'm just going to say this, that actually people get married when they're under 20. Actually, people choose colleges to go to. Actually, people make life-altering decisions in adolescence. And honestly, most of them are good. It's just the bad ones that we talk about, but we don't put on YouTube the really good decisions. Oh my gosh, my kid took the SATs. Not a very exciting after-school decision. So what we do know is that adolescents actually have the capacity to make a reasonable and logical decision. And there's the other thing about chest surgery. If you want breasts at a later point in your life, you can go and get them. This woman is a psychopath. She's a doctor and she wants to cut off the breasts of teenage girls. She's crazy. But let's break it down. Now, it's three things I want to mention. First, she talks about, hey, kids took the SATs. Isn't that a good decision that they made? No, it's not. I don't know any kid who took the SATs on their own initiative. My parents made me take the SATs. Everybody I know, their parents made them take the SATs too. So that's wrong. She also says, hey, teenagers have the capacity to make good decisions, like the SATs. Wrong again. As you know, or maybe don't know, I'm a lawyer who plays a judge on the internet. When it comes to capacity of children, for example, in contracts, children cannot get into a contract. Why? If they get into a contract and they're under 18, the contract is voidable. Why? Because they lack capacity. That's the actual word used in law. They lack the capacity because their brains are not fully developed yet. And then she says, hey, remove the breasts. And then at a later point, if you want to get them back, just get another surgery. Who cares? It's like going to the candy store. This woman is a danger to society. Her sentence? I'm sorry to do this. Life in prison. Our next case comes courtesy of Brandeis University. One of the deans at the university made a statement saying that, hey, if you argue against critical race theory, you are a racist. And if you're white, sorry, you're a racist. Now, let me read the statement. Bailiff, bring me the statement so I can read it to the jury. A few points of clarification. 1. Debates about critical race theory are often strawman for debates about whether or not systematic racism is real. And no number of statistics or facts that I could offer up are going to convince people to see systematic racism if they don't want to. Number 2, yes, all white people are racist in that all white people have been conditioned in a society where one's racial identity determines life experiences, outcomes, and whiteness is the norm and the default. That includes me. Number 3, I don't hate white people. I hate whiteness. To distinguish between the two, please feel free to watch my recent What is Whiteness? And number 4, critical race theory does not create oppression. It names oppression that already exists. This woman is crazy and she's a dean at a major university in the United States. How wonderful. The first thing she says is, if you debate critical race theory, you're a racist. That's a Kafka trap. If you deny something, it is taken as evidence that you are indeed that something. It's not very logical. It's a fallacy. She's a dean at a major university. She also talks about systematic racism, but she doesn't define it. What is systematic racism? She says all white people are racist, but then she, gives the caveat, doesn't mean you're a member of whiteness or whatever that means. What is whiteness? I ask myself the same question. What is whiteness? Nothing. Because, like I tell all the communists that I encounter on Twitter, people should be judged as individuals, not as members of groups. The sentence for the dean of Brandeis University? 5 years for manipulation and racism. Another racism case? God damn. Okay, we have another racism case, ladies and gentlemen, this time in the UK. Nature. The mega corporation put out an advertisement, how they say in the UK, looking for interns, but only black interns. If you're black, you can apply. If you're white, sorry, you're not wanted here. Is that racist? Let's break it down. A certain group of people is allowed based solely on the color of their skin, and then the other group is disallowed based solely on the color of their skin. Is there a word for that? Oh yeah, racism. Now some of you may think, hey, that's in the UK. You have no jurisdiction there. Wrong. I have jurisdiction everywhere. I am Gaston the Ginger, first of his name, judge of YouTube, abolisher of racist and denouncer of hypocrites. I have jurisdiction everywhere. I've had it up to my rapidly receding hairline when it comes to these woke mega corporations. I sentence nature to death. Now hang with me, we got 2 more cases to go. First, you guys remember the case of the Central Park Karen, the white woman who was with her unleashed dog, and then a black guy bird watcher came and she freaked out and called the police on him, and she was called a racist by the mainstream media. She was even fired from her job. Well, it turns out we got some context now, and a statement that was omitted from the mainstream narrative. Funny how they do that. Let me read it to you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, quick Twitter thread here. I promise it's not too long, and it's quite interesting. Remember the Central Park Karen and the birdwatcher Christian Cooper who victimized by her racism? Mr. Lockett, who's black, also had his dog threatened by Christian. He says, if I wasn't who I was, I would have called the police on that guy too. Our race discourse is broken. Amy Cooper, the Central Park Karen, has filed suit against her ex-employer, which was fired over the incident. Ms. Cooper's actions may have been racist. Ms. Cooper did admit on Facebook to threatening her dog. Mr. Cooper did admit to Facebook to threatening her dog. I'm going to do what I want, but you're not going to like it, is what Mr. Cooper said. Christian, the birdwatcher. Here are some highlights of the story told to NBC by Jerome Lockett, a dog owner and a heterodox black man threatened by Cooper. When I saw that video, I thought I cannot imagine if he approached her the same way as he did me, how she may have genuinely been afraid for her life. I'm a 30-year-old African-American dog owner living in New York City. I frequently take my dog to Central Park and walk my dog with my friend and his dog. Christian comes yelling from about 10 yards away, "You need to leash your dog! They can't be off leash in here!" He starts to try and make these noises to call our dogs to him, and I yelled, "Don't try and call my dog to you." He then says, "If you're going to do what I want, then I'm not going to do what I want, but you're not going to like it." I then ran over to him and pushed him away before he got too close to my dog. He then yelled for someone to record it. I said, "Never fucking touch someone's dog that isn't threatening you, and never threaten me again." Then he goes on to say, as a black man, I can't believe this happened to Amy Cooper. She's clearly not racist, and this guy is clearly a predator. But enough with little me. Let's go back to big me. Some of you may know, some of you may not know, but I have a dog myself. There's several dogs in my family, actually. Beautiful dogs. If this guy came close to one of my dogs without my permission and tried picking one up, you best believe I'd go Keanu Reeves on his ass. By the powers vested in me, Central Park Karen is vindicated. And Mr. Christian Wood, a restraining order is in effect. He shall not come within 1,000 feet of any unleashed dog. Our last case is from North Carolina. A woman, an innocent bystander, was driving, minding her own business, when she took the wrong turn to a street filled with terrorists, BLM and Antifa, and they were terrorizing her. So what did she do? She tried speeding away, and then she hit a Black Lives Matter terrorist. So now, the police is charging her with attempted murder. Now, I think that's ludicrous. If we learned something in this past year is that Black Lives Matter and Antifa stop people in their cars and beat the shit out of them. It happened 2 weeks ago in Portland. Or what about the case a couple months ago, I think it was in Minnesota, or it might have been St. Louis. A woman was surrounded in her car by the same type of people you see in the video I'm going to show you. She calls the police and they say, "Sorry, we can't help you." So what do? You had to get away. Let me show you the clip before I keep going. TET! Here in Florida, Governor Ron DeSantis implemented a new law that would clear motorists of any wrongdoing in the event they hit a rioter, like you just saw in that clip. I hope she gets off, and if she doesn't, I sentence the whole police department and the district attorney to life in prison without possibility of parole because they are tyrants siding with terrorists. Case closed. And that's all the cases for today, folks. Thank you for joining me. Hit the like button, subscribe. That way, the wheels keep on turning and I can keep judging people because I love it. I love judging people. Now, also, if you don't mind, share. That way, more people can see the shenanigans of the woke. Thank you for watching and see you next time.